Hey folks, it's your boy Iceberg Bricks, and the guy sitting next to me, that's BX Bricks.
What up?
What's good? We're talking Lego Masters, folks. Lego Masters. Mel Jermaine, Jermaine to Mel, BX to Iceberg. We're in the house. So it is episode 8. And yeah, man, the whole season flew by so quick, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, man.
You're down to the final 2 episodes, dude. The final 2 episodes, and it looks like the episode 9 is going to be Star Wars. Man, that is going to be an epic episode, bro. That is going to be so huge. Yeah, yeah. You know what? And it's Australia did do the Back to the Future thing, so I think at one point you had to have like some type of popular theme. So, and I think them picking Star Wars was excellent.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like their biggest theme in Lego right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, most definitely. We are talking episode 8, where they have the evil versus good, or good versus evil. You got a hero and you got a couple of villains. The stuff is starting to get dicey because now you're down to 4 teams. 4 teams are left. And so, yeah, man. And the outcome, America was unexpected. This is a spoiler show. If you haven't seen Lego Masters episode 8, please tune out because we're going to spoil milk all over this thing. Right. So we get to the first, we get to the front of the show, right? And they're pairing people. Well, they're picking their heroes. They're picking who they think that's going to be their heroes, right? They don't know about the evil just yet, right? That's the twist. Because when you thought you had a hero, you don't. And so, Tyler and Amy decide to go with the Pharaoh and the adventurer. The adventurer, remember that adventurer we had?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that Egyptian stuff we had, right?
Yeah, that seemed pretty familiar.
You remember that obelisk that we made?
That was the focal point of our build.
It was the focal point of their build. So, man, that I gotta give it to Tyler, man. He does not hold back any punches, and we're gonna talk about that in depth. We might lose some friends. Are you worried about that?
I mean, it's nothing different from where we're from. Like you win some, you lose some. What are you gonna do?
So, Tyler and Amy picked the Egyptian and the adventurer, right? Aaron and Christian picked the tech girl, and they had the space bounty hunter, right? So that's a good combo. Boone and Mark decided to go funny style, right? They picked what was it? They picked the pixie guy, and they picked the colorful bear, the Care Bear, right?
Yeah.
And Sam and Jess picked the bubble guy, the bubble bath guy, and a grandma who would just ultimately end up being his mom, right? And so those they pick, and they all think that they're picking heroes, but then they place their minifigs onto a box, and it tells the builders, the teams, all right, you're building towards the good, you're building towards the evil. So and that was the twist. So you're building these things, right? And now they're gonna put teams together. So now you got Tyler and Amy, who's supposed to be collabing with Aaron and Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Boone and Mark collabing with Sam and Jess, right?
Brilliant.
Right. So what's your take on it so far, my man?
I mean, are we going to just glaze over the whole evil will thing that popped up on the screen?
No, man. I mean, if that floats your boat, man, I think that's kind of stroking the guy's ego. But I mean, you go ahead.
But I mean, I personally watching it thought it was hilarious.
Right.
In a way that benefits Will.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just think that whole angle was insane. It was crazy.
Right.
Having the teams paired up now, I mean, off rip, I'm thinking Boone and Mark's cartoony style with Sam and Jess's, fantasy creating, that's going to mesh well
Mm-hmm.
all together.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have uh, Tyler and Amy and Aaron and Christian, who's, two very strong teams of ego right there.
Mm-hmm.
Who want to be the best, who kind of play by their own rules, coming together. I mean, you automatically see the fruit of that chemistry from the beginning of the challenge.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. And I think that they definitely mesh well, Boone and Mark and Sam and Jess. And they end up tying their things. And like off the break, they know they had a lower level, and they
Yeah,
were building their projects off the lower level. So now my lower level connects to your lower level, and then you got the epic battle above the street level, right?
right.
And I think that meshed pretty well.
Yeah,
Um,
I could see the excitement once they realized what they were doing and
mhm.
how it was automatically coming together. Like that was a genuine reaction.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And then you had Tyler and Amy, and they're the villains this time. What if I told you that maybe Tyler and Amy were the true villains of the whole entire Lego Masters season, and we just never knew?
Well,
Did
then
you
I
see
would
him get
call you a
evil? Did you see them get? Did you see them get evil on that episode, bro? They got evil.
well, Amy's laugh was pretty evil.
No, I ain't
Well,
talking.
hopefully, my rooms for that.
Bro, I'm not even talking about the laugh. I'm not even talking about the laugh. I'm talking about the point where they were at a impasse. Aaron, you had Aaron and Christian at an impasse with Tyler and Amy, and they're asking, "Hey, look, I don't see how what you're building, coincide to what we're building. How and matter of fact, what you're building doesn't even coincide in itself." He's like, what's
Right.
up with the bake sale? Like, what's going? How you get this, high tech center? What that got to do with the bake sale? And so he's trying to, tie these loose ends up because it is storytelling, which is Tyler is perfect at storytelling. All his characters are based off of a story,
Yeah.
and so he tells him that, and I think Aaron kind of reminds me of me, where like I really don't want to take advice from anybody, and I'm sure not gonna ask for advice from somebody. And it just, I think Aaron's just like me, where I just have too much pride. And he even said it. He was like, "Look,
I can
I,
kind
I
of see
really
that.
don't." He was like, "I really don't want to ask them." And that's how he was like, "I really don't want to ask them because, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing." And that's pride, man. I get that. I dig that. You know. And but Christian put that pride aside and asked him, "Hey, look,
Right.
what can we do?" And so Tyler and Amy come back over because they were like, "Look, all right, well, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. We know that we're building as a team, but we have to stand outside of them." And Aaron he hit that on the head, right? He said, "Look, we're building as a team, but we got to set ourselves apart." Well, when you set yourself apart from something, then it's two opposite builds, right?
Right. That's true. I mean that mentality right there was just doomed from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I think they probably should have spent a little bit more time planning. Not to say that his concepts were great, but I think the judges got on him for hiding one of the heroes. Like it was built inside of one of the buildings, so you couldn't see it. And it's supposed to be like you're supposed to show all your cards. In that epic battle scene, right? So everybody, it's all hands on deck, right? And so,
Right.
and they had one of their heroes that was supposed to be part of the focal point hidden in the build. And, I get that at this point, you got four teams left. So all those little tiny things count.
Yeah. I mean, they had the little space dude spinning around in a little carousel as if he was like a suit for the tech person to wear. Like it wasn't showing what was it that they were there to do.
Right, right.
Like you couldn't really take this character and duplicate it throughout the scene to show you the action.
Mm-hmm.
They were just there in their little green cave spinning around. Like,
I like the way Aaron went with it. Now, when I think about this, right? So now, Aaron and Christian have this tech scene, right? They're doing this tech thing, right? And mind you, like, now on the other end of that spectrum, you got Tyler and Amy, right? You got Tyler and Amy that are building this Egyptian pharaoh scene, right?
Right.
What movie comes to light with tech and Egyptian stuff?
Tech and Egyptian stuff?
Mm-hmm. Stargate.
Holy crap! Yeah, you're right, dude.
I would have been all over Stargate. You build that little Stargate right there, like there, right, and that's the portal to the dimension. You build the little laboratory room, with the Stargate right there. So now this stuff starts to make sense. You have your army and everybody's going into the Stargate to go fight these Egyptians, right? Because that's what Stargate was, right? The Egyptians were the aliens, right? Man, that would have been a hell of a story, dude. That would have been a hell of a story, that and I picked up on that when I was looking at his. So he was actually like, Aaron is very, he's a very intelligent guy, hands down. Very smart. And very intelligent when it comes to engineering. And I think he was just knocking at the door with that, but he couldn't really grasp the concept. And when he started building that, and I saw Amy and Tyler building that, I just automatically thought, hey, Stargate, you could have tied that right into that story and made that epic battle scene make much more sense and everything that you were building. So, like I would have taken that lab that he built and opened it up like Sam and Jess a little bit, where you got the layer and stuff like that. Build that Stargate there. Have those armies getting ready to go through the Stargate to go fight, those Pharaoh, aliens, like Stargate, So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
With theirs, it's like everybody, all the other 3 teams, they opened up their world so you can see what's going on the inside. But
Right.
Aaron and Christian kind of kept theirs like as if you're looking at it from the outside. They had a building and things going on the outside. It's like they should have opened it up, like you said.
Right. Yeah. That's what I would have thought. And you know what? I think that if we had the opportunity to be in this challenge, I think that Popeye's chicken probably would have been that Popeye's chicken story would have been that chicken sandwich story probably would have been a good hit. probably would have been a good hit.
So for the fact that you're watching this and you're thinking instantly of that, because I'm pretty sure that popped in your mind at the beginning of the episode. Had we been in that position, we would have all the way up.
But look, and then my thing is this: that you can never fill somebody's shoes. We can what if to the sun comes and then the moon comes back around again. And this is that type of show. It's a what if show. So what if we were paired up with Tyler and Amy? That exactly what I would have done if I would have picked those 2 characters. And I'm not even, I probably would have, because I like that space bounty hunter. So I probably would have fell in for that. And so if I'm telling a futuristic story, because it seemed like, Aaron liked that tech stuff, I would have definitely told that Stargate story, especially after I looked over to see that they were building that Egyptian theme.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But,
I don't know. I mean, like, to me, like, if I was in that lineup and we had to go pick people, I might have gone with something that, I might have gone with the pizza guy.
Okay. I dig that.
Considering what the picture that you painted, mine would have been completely unplugged.
Right.
But I want to go for something kind of fun and wacky.
Right.
So I kind of feel Mark and Boone on that.
Yeah. And they did it. They, and he said it from the jump. He said, while people still figuring out what, minifigs to pick, me and Mark, we grabbed the 2 funnest, minifigs that were up there. We grabbed the pizza guy and the Care Bear, and he was like, I'm elated with the colors. Like, the colors this is going to be easy because now I can use a plethora of colors because, my minifigures have all these colors.
Exactly.
So,
like, you got to pick the characters that are going to play to your strengths.
Right.
So that makes a ton of sense. I'm surprised Sam and Justin picked those guys. Yeah,
I would have thought that they would have picked the Care Bear, but you know what? Maybe Mark and Boone put their hands on them so quick and they got out of there like ASAP. They didn't have a chance to get them. But
you gotta consider, like, when we do these runs to go grab, we're doing this like 3 times.
Yeah.
So you have 3 opportunities
To switch up.
see everything and really strategize within that 10 to 20 minutes to say, all right, this makes more sense. Go for these 2.
Right. Yeah, and that's possible too. You run in there to go get what you want and everything. Yeah, man. And so I see that you have 2 A class type people, which is Tyler. Tyler's an A class person, to A class type person, and you have Aaron, who's the A class type person too. And so they're actually, they're politely, folks. I'm not saying that there was a quarrel. They are bumping heads, right? Because it's like, all right, we're a team, and even Amy chimes in and says, look, I don't think what you're building is coincide with what we're building, and so they continue to build, man, and it get to that point where they have to build that epic battle scene. And they went back to Tyler and they said, hey, look, what can we do to tie this in? And Tyler told him, hey, look, build an army of robots that are coming in. Like, since it's tech thing, build your army, get your army on the ground and have them running over. That way it looks like, it's and that's just a crumb to, get this thing to glue together. Because at this point they're building 2 different stories that really didn't, mesh well. And it's tough.
Robots, they didn't have them rushing over to the Egyptian scene. They were all rushing to the bake sale.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, where'd he get that bake sale? But he was locked in on that bake sale, bro. He was locked in. Christian asked him about that bake sale if you saw the episode, but he was so locked in on that bake sale, and it was like, even Tyler was like, yeah, I don't understand the bake sale, what the bake sale has to do with anything, And skip that bake sale, man. Build a Stargate and kick tail, bro. Yeah, that's just and that's tough, man, because then when they come down to it, when it comes down to it, they're thinking, all right, if you're not in the top 2, you're in the bottom 2. And our boys, Mark and Boone, automatically plugged that golden brick. I don't even think they had to, because their stuff was so polished at this point. I don't think they had to, but it's the last episode you can use it. So what you do, you use it just for GP, right? Yeah. And lo and behold, they were in the top 2, right? And of course, Tyler and Amy, they definitely brought that and it's got me, got the wheel spin. I'm looking at his stuff and it's got my wheel spinning and stuff. It's like, man, this thing is awesome, right? And you see the way he built that gate, man. When he built that gate, what does that gate kind of remind you of, bro? It's a set that came out. There's a set that came out that's just like that gate.
Oh.
It's the Jurassic Park set, the one with the big T-Rex, the buildable T-Rex.
You're right, dude.
Take a look at. Matter of fact, I'll put a picture up. It's the same exact gate, bro. The same gate. It's the same. It's got that A shape, and the way it's built, it's built the same way. It's a system. All it is it's a system, man. And Tyler is on it, bro. I hope that Tyler get a Lego designer job or something, because he deserve it.
That makes sense, definitely.
Yeah, and but yeah, take a, and I'll tag a picture of that and have them side by side in this. But yeah, take a look at that set, that Jurassic Park set, the one that came out with the big T-Rex. It's the same gate. It's the same gate. And I when I seen that build, I said, yo, that looks like the Jurassic Park set. And so when the commercial hit, I ran upstairs to, because I got this, I ran upstairs to take a look at it. I'm like, yo, that's the same gate. It's the same shape, everything. That thing looks so clean, bro. That Ovilus looks so clean, bro.
I like the glowing part in the middle of it. That made so much sense.
Bro, you could make an amusement park out of that joint. Let me stop.
Put a monorail right through there.
Put a little. You want to copy something, right? You want to copy? I'm gonna copy something. Nah, let me stop. Jokes, just jokes. You can't live without jokes. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So they the top 2 is Tyler and Amy, and Boone and Mark. Do you object to that?
Oh, not at all. I mean, I mean, I feel like Sam and Justice was, pretty strong, but
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I mean, definitely not up to like Mark and Boone's level, which I was kind of afraid of because like Mark and Boone had their whole basement thing finished, and it was just kind of flat on top where Sam and Jess already had the bottom and top established, and then it's like the next scene,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden there's like a whole town on top of Mark and Boone's thing. I'm like, where did that come from?
Yo, Mark quick with his hands, bro. He quick, he quick, he quick. He put them bills down, son.
Yeah, pizza shop and also the shoe repair, all sorts of stuff in there. I'm like, where
Right.
did that come from?
That was the extension of Pop's shop with that Pop's food cart. That Pop's food cart. That was the extension of it, man. That was round two. They had it up here, bro. Yeah, man. That's wild. But do you think that Boone and Mark maybe coached up Sam and just a little bit? Hey, help him out with a little bit, just a little inspiration. Hey, look.
Well, I mean, that's the point of the whole thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like you got to stand out as separate teams, but you're also working as one cohesive team. So it's like if we don't get them up to par, then I mean that could hurt us also. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't in a sense to where it seemed like their whole thing was slathered in Mark and Boone. No, you just see like little Easter eggs here and there. Like, all right, we're gonna like take out the pizza slices and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like that, you really have to come together to make something like that happen. So,
Right. I got you.
so I think that they really had a grab on the whole concept of the episode. Like,
Yeah.
you build your strong pieces, but you also still got to work together as
As
a
a
team.
team, right. Yeah, and I think that'll work too. If we were in it, bro, if we were in it, say we were one of the final four, right? And who do you think would be paired up with?
Honestly, like I feel that regardless of what we would have picked, they would have put us with Tyler and Amy because we've been going head to head the entire season. Like they know that you and I, Mark and Boone, we mesh well together. So
Yeah.
that would have been no surprise
Right.
or anything like that.
Right.
And we would have probably, we would have definitely excelled.
It would have been a good collab. Yeah, it would have been definitely a good
It would have
collab.
been insane.
Yeah.
But it makes better TV to have the two teams involved with Babygate, working together.
Right.
Like, all right, well, you can't say I'm copying now, so like, because we got to work together on this. So
Right. And
that dynamic would have been like really entertaining.
from a producer's viewpoint, yeah, I think they probably would have went that way for us, because we're gonna get this, it's gonna be a us versus them and stuff like that. But honestly, we had no quarrels with them, man. And that's what I'm saying. We had no quarrels, but we were cool with them, man. We eat lunch and everything. We were cool with Tyler and Amy.
So,
and
that camera magic. So
and bro, you know what? I would have ate that stuff up. I'd have been sitting there looking at Tyler's techniques. All right, show me how to do that. Show me how. Okay, all right. Because mind you, I'm still a novice builder, yo. Show me how to do that. Oh, okay, all right, I got you. I'd have been eating that stuff up, man.
Hours to try to get this done. And I mean, I don't know how receptive Tyler would have been to like a whole learning session with you.
Right.
I mean, I think that they definitely like would have tried to use this episode to be like, all right, let's get these guys out of here. Like,
now, I'm glad you said that, my friend, because you know what I'm gonna ask next. You know what I'm gonna ask next. I didn't say it. You said it. You think they served Christian and Aaron up on a silver platter? Do you think that, honestly?
Oh yes, definitely. Because you're taking statistically, like I guess America's two favorite teams, and you know that their egos are both way too strstrong.
Way too strong.
It's just oil and water.
Yeah, it was, and it showed. It did.
Yeah, so I mean that. I mean, if like at that point, because they probably took a little break after announcing, all right, you're paired with these people, hard ice.
Right.
If I was Aaron and Christian, I would have been, like really sweating bricks at that point.
Oh, you could tell Aaron. You could tell that Aaron was sweating bricks. And I'm gonna be real. I'd be wrong, and I wouldn't be serving my viewers, like I should be if I if I sugarcoated anything. But you could see that Aaron was really sweating. He was sweating more in this episode than the time that they jived that golden brick out of him. When they bluffed him for that golden brick, you know, he was sweating more in this episode than then. And you can tell where he felt a little bit unsure of himself. And then on top of that is that his pride was really strong. Like his pride was when he knows he's a top builder. He know, but you're going against at this point, and I'll be real. At this point, Tyler and Amy are in the number one spot. They're in the pole position, right? And they're driving this thing home, and because they won last challenge, and all they are focused on this challenge right here. So they can go into the final at the top spot, right? And at this point, it's the stronger builders, the stronger teams to me are Mark and Boone, and Tyler and Amy. You know, because Tyler and Amy never once been in the bottom.
No,
never once.
Even on the weakest
Mark and Boone was never in the bottom. They were never they wasn't even in the bottom on that first episode. They wasn't in the bottom.
No.
Yeah, they were never in the bottom, and so those are the number 1 and 2 teams, or the 1 and 1 number 1 and 1 teams at this point, and you know, everything's brackets, so they're 1 and 1 right here. So, and you know, at this point, and when he says that, look, I know we're supposed to be collabing with Tyler and Amy, but I feel like we need to build. Me and Christian need to build something to set ourselves apart from them.
It's the wrong strategy.
Yeah.
Like right now, like, you know, they're supposed to just. I mean, Christian and Aaron, excellent builders, but you have to recognize the skill set and just like, all right, let Tyler and Amy take the lead, and just work with them. But, I mean, at the same time, I mean, because it's like, well, I would say work with them and then put your little Aaron and Christian touch on it.
Right, yeah.
Don't make it look like one giant Tyler build, but, you know, at least be cohesive with them because you know that they're the stronger storytellers.
Right.
That's no shade on anything.
And I would have been like, hey, yo, Jay, let's take the back seat. Let's let Tyler run with the story and let's build the way we build. You know,
right.
Because at least the story is on point. Yeah, at least the story is on point, right? The story is on point, and so they can't say that your story looked different from their story. We don't see no battle, right?
Exactly.
So we would take the back seat because Tyler's a stronger storyteller, right? We're good storytellers, but Tyler, he makes his characters off of storytelling. I would have picked that up, and you know, you would take the back seat and ride the coattails of the number 1 team into the final.
Well, I mean, I think it would have benefited had they spent more time planning.
Right. Yeah.
No, because you definitely don't want to get to the finals saying that they're the only reasons you got there. But thinking of a strategy, yeah, you want to make sure that you're working with them to kind of secure your spot past this episode.
Now, how many hours did they have for this episode?
11.
11.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, and I'll probably apologize to Aaron later, but I've seen Aaron, the builder, the Lego builder, build better buildings than that tech building. I think his energy was spent on maybe the inside of the building, but the outside of the building looks so bland. I think, and it's hard to say because tech buildings and tech looks very clean, right? Yeah. And so it's hard to actually add those extra details and make it sparkle and stuff like that. So I get that. So it looks real clean. It looks real self-sufficient, right? And so the outside of that building looked very bland. The details inside was awesome, but you didn't see the inside.
Right, and it's like nobody's gonna like really go into the details and like let me see what's going on the inside. That should have been opened up from the beginning.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what the outside of the building is gonna look like. I mean, you need to see what makes the elements of what makes this the hero or the bad guy.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's a tough break for those dudes because they're definitely top 3 material. They are, you know. Not to say that nobody isn't, because Jess and Sam, they earned the right at this point. They you stepped in the ring, you defeated a lot of people, and now you're in the top 3. And congrats to Sam and Jess, and congrats to Mark and Boone, and congrats to Tyler and Amy, because now they're the top 3 in this whole program, and they're going into the next week. Fun building, man. With Star Wars, right?
Yeah, I gotta tell you off rip, bro. Like, I am like one of the least knowledgeable people when it comes to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have definitely had to take the lead on that one. Like,
we would have been okay. I don't know everything about Star Wars, but I know enough now. I know a little bit enough. I don't know everything. Like, I can't tell you, Chewie's favorite breakfast item. I couldn't tell you that. But there's somebody that could. but we would have been okay. And they had, it looks like they had specific scenes, so I think we would have been okay, because at this point you're building an atmosphere to that scene, and then, like, of course you got to build the vehicles and stuff like that and everything like that. I saw Tyler build an AT-AT. That's pretty awesome, especially that's off the cuff. That is ridiculous.
And that's the thing. I feel like with that challenge, it can't just be, here's a poster, build it. There has to be a twist or something to where you're putting a little bit of yourself into it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm kind of curious to see when this next episode comes out.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Definitely. Bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I wish they would allow us to audition for season 2, because I hate taking defeats, dude. This is going to grind me for the rest of my life, dude. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And I know we kicked around and laughed about it before, but I know we could probably apply, but they probably kick us out the door because we're probably ineligible because we were on season 1. So and you want fresh faces anyway. You want fresh faces. You don't want the same stuff. So
of course. Now, considering how far we got, considering that we know all of the challenges and the pressure,
bro.
And the stresses,
you know what I think? I think the challenge is going to be different, especially like if we watch this Australian show that's getting ready to come up, the second season that's getting ready to come up. They got new challenges, bro. Whole new challenges.
I mean, regardless of the challenges, because
Mm-hmm.
the type of stuff that they're going to throw at us, but
Mm-hmm.
just knowing what happens behind the scenes and how they got their own agenda with the producers and stuff.
Yeah.
Who do you feel that at this point, if they release this announcement tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and if season 1 could apply again, is this something that you would want to do? Not just for the fun factor, but do you think you could make it all the way straight through to the finals?
I would do it, dude. You know what? Because here's where I messed up, dude. I think I was really out of the zone coming around. I want to say around when we made Cry Baby and we got slighted. I couldn't let it go. Because, mind you, when we finished that episode, we went right into the next episode.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't let it go, and I just never came out of the tank, bro. From 4 to 5 to 6, and I think even with 6, where we were building off of your design, and I think that you were locked in, and I think I could have pulled you, if I had a clear mind, I could have pulled you out by like 2 hours to go, and really could have sat back. Because usually what I'll do is, like, I'll sit back, like, remember on that Egyptian build. Matter of fact, I better yet, Legor. When you took 5 hours to build Lego's head, and Lego's head had like a ton of details, and I had to pull you out of there because it was a lot more that you were trying to add. I had to pull you out of that tank and say, hey, look, we're down to an hour and a half, so now we got to finish this up. And you mounted the head because there was some more stuff you wanted to add, but we just didn't have the time. And matter of fact, that's how that little tiny light with the eye got in there, because I think we were trying to do something else.
No, that was the whole design. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only reason Legor's head took a while is because I wanted to add a technical aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Being that we couldn't use motors or anything,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to figure out how to make the mouth go up and down. So
right.
figuring out that mechanism is what kind of like held me up a little bit.
Yeah. Or even like the swinging ship,
Oh yeah,
and I had to pull you out of there. I had to pull you out of the pool for the swinging ship, and I was like, don't worry about it. Work on something else. I'll do something with the swinging ship. I had to pull you out of it because you were locked in because it was like, look, I need to make this thing work, and the time was ticking down, and it ended up working out, ultimately. But like I think I was in the tank. And so I didn't look up at the 2-hour mark and say, all right, let me assess this build. How far are we? What's important?
Even with all of that, it's like, that if we tried this again, like in this what if scenario,
If we're on season 2.
These guys are going to do exactly what they set out to do in the first season, and it's to shake us up and to get in our heads. So you have to know within yourself, if they do this again, it will not faze me.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the whole big thing, because it's like, that takes a lot of character development. You know what I'm saying? And I could understand in between season 1 and maybe season 3 or 4, but dive right into season 2. I personally I would love to do it just for the experience, but I don't think we would be ready to take that on yet.
Yeah, I got you.
We would need a lot more time just being able to build against the clock and have people like blah 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 blah, like we gotta
because they, like you said, they pull you away from your bills and the time is still winding down, dude. Like
so, it would be fun, it would be awesome, but I don't think I would dive into season 2 again. Maybe as like a guest judge or something like that, but to compete again.
All right, so to get back to episode 8, you have the bottom 2, and the bottom 2 are Sam and Jessica, and Aaron and Christian.
Right.
And I just had this feeling like they had just burned from the beginning for Aaron and Christian. I think they knew it just wasn't going to go their way.
Well, once they saw the idea, that's when that was the nail in the coffin. And it's like, all right, we have these characters, and we're going to do this. All of America said, "What?" I had people texting me, and it's like, yo,
it would have worked. I'm telling you, dude, it would have went well if you incorporated that Stargate thing right there, and I'm telling you, and you would have had those robot armies going through this portal. Then it start, but like you said, you would have to do that. You would have to open up that tech center so you could see what's going on inside, and it's crazy because last episode he built the Taker Waker's house and it was open.
Yeah, but then it was like too detailed inside. It was like chaotic.
So then he closes the building this time.
Yeah, I think what it is, and the pattern that I'm beginning to notice is that when you take your stronger teams, once they hit the bottom 2, it's hard to recover from that.
It is.
Like Richard and Flynn, excellent builders.
Yeah.
Once they hit that bottom 2, it was hard for them to come back.
Yeah, same with us. It was hard for us to come back. Yeah, it was just hard. It was, and you're trying to be positive, but that's in your mind, man.
Yeah, because it's like you know everything that led to getting to the bottom 2. And not only are you second guessing yourself, your team, and your role and everything, because it's like it begins seeming like either the judges or the producers are engineering this to say, all right, well, you might want to start packing your bags up.
Yep.
And then you start like, well, is this really what's happening? So like you try to switch up your style a little bit, and it never turns out to benefit. Like you want to grow. But once you hit that bottom 2, it's like it's hard to shake that.
Yeah, I think so
Sam
too.
And Jess, they just embraced it all the way through. They're like, I guess it's time to go, and it landed them all the way into finals.
Right, because they every week they're like, up, it's us, up, it's us, up, it's us, and it's like, no. Maybe we should have did that. Maybe we should have, like, when it was lined up, it's like, up, it's time to go, and then they, the producers prove you wrong by keeping you on.
Right. We should have broke out into like a fake fight.
Yeah.
started wrestling or whatever.
We're gonna do that next time.
We would have secured our path all the way to the finals.
Throw some bricks around off the table, like ah.
I told you I was planning on doing that. I was gonna build just some random thing just to smash it and look angry, just to see what would happen.
See, you're too slow. You're too slow.
Tired of this. And then the other.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta laugh about it, bro. You gotta laugh about it.
Because I mean, when you look at it, we didn't go on TV to show America how great we are. We went on TV to be on TV.
Yeah,
we should have did just that. We already know that we're great builders.
Yeah.
Are we the best? No. But we know that we're good.
Right.
We're going on there and just delivered good TV, bro.
That's it, man. And you know what? And I think that's kind of I reluctantly ate that sandwich when we had that talk at the hotel, and you was like, "Look, bro, you know this is what we want to happen, but this is what's going to happen."
Right.
When you gave me that talk, like, "Hey, yeah, this is what we want to happen, but this is what's going to happen," and when you accept that, you learn to let go, and it is what it is, you know.
Like these formulas, the producers have lined up already. They're like, all right, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. We just got to figure out what teams are we going to plug into these things to create good TV.
Yeah. Yep. That's the list, man. It's a list. You know, so yeah, man. I wish we could have knocked some folks out, make them change their list, bro. I wish we could have. But dang.
That was my personal goal, was to like kind of fake prove that the producers aren't in control of the show, right? And you know, we have the ability to make it to finals. That's all I wanted, was just to make it to finals,
right?
Based on our own thing. And if for any reason they knock us off before then, America's gonna know the truth, right. Which they do.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it is what it is.
Yeah, man.
We're still considered Lego masters. We're not, you know, walking around with 100,000 or a trophy, but America still knows us as Lego Masters, so that's good.
That's good. Yeah, it's a still win. You know, still a win, right? Yep. All right, folks. The next episode 9, is Star Wars. You got 2 episodes left of the season. That Australian season is looking pretty nice. I seen the previews for it. Looking pretty nice, bro. I can't wait to watch that one.
Now, we went through this whole episode and literally didn't mention Terry Crews not one time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I just want to say that out of all the guests that we've had, that guy would have probably been the one that I wanted to meet the most so far as of what they've shown on the TV. But yeah, he looked like he was a ton of fun. Like,
yeah, man. Oh, man, you imagine mixing it up with Terry Crews, bro? That off the cuff.
Oh yeah, like.
We would have never got no building done, bro. We would have never got no building done, dude, because that dude would have never left our table.
Never. Like, I was like, he definitely brought, you know, like the brighter side of the episode, just yelling at people, and like, the interaction with Mark and Boone was the funniest.
I'd have been like, dude, man, put on your shirt, dude. You keep busting out these walls with no shirt on, dude. Put your shirt on, dude. You know what? I'd have asked him, dude, you gotta play that role. What was my man's name on for Friday, man, when he was on Friday After Next?
Was it Friday After Next?
Yeah, was it Friday? It was like the third Friday he was in. I think whatever the third movie. He was in the third movie with Pinky.
I gotta watch that one again.
Yeah. And his mom was the landlord, and they ain't pay their rent. Craig and Day didn't pay their rent.
Facts. Nah, but when they showed Amy's reaction when he busted through the wall, she like jumped back a whole foot.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I wonder how they passed that by, like, you know, because you notice, like, I don't know, maybe they pass it off like maybe, oh, you know, we're working on a door. It's construction. We're working on the door, and that. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that, but you know, that door is important. That's what I'm saying. That door, that walkway is important, and so now you got this false wall up there that have Terry Crews bust out to surprise everybody, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder. I wonder how they were able to keep that one hush hush.
Oh, I mean,
Because
so
you walk in there, and you walking in there because they were already building, right? You
yeah.
walking in there, and you see that there's that thing looked different than it did yesterday. So why does it look different than it did yesterday,
Well, I mean,
Jermaine?
it's all it's like magic. You keep your eye distracted on something else. So you come in there and they're boom, boom, boom. That's why they didn't take too long bringing them out. So they
Yeah.
probably had everybody go offset for a second or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, nothing looks different. All right, boom, cue Terry, boosh, and
Right.
it's like, oh, I didn't have time to even recognize that was a fake wall. You know?
Got you. Oh, so you're telling me that you would have drunk the Kool-Aid? All right, I got you.
Well, no, I know I wouldn't have caught that. You're surrounded by over 3 million Lego, and you're going to stare at the same blue wall we've been staring at for 2 months?
Well,
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that's the entrance that we walk in and off of the set anyway, dude. So
Right,
if they say, "Hey, look, we're not going this way, we're going this way," I automatically know something's up.
Well,
And if we're sitting there and I'm looking at that door and it don't look like it did when I first came up in here, something's up.
See, that's that cop instinct. I'm all for cops now. Come on.
That door is normally plastic, and now ain't no shine to that door.
Oh, come on, guys. That would be magical. Even if you would have noticed it looked different, what would you have assumed from it?
No, something's about to happen.
Something would happen, maybe, but we would have been too busy building, and that would have been it. We would have
you're probably right. You're probably right.
Brick logo, like, oh, well, Will's doing this crazy thing again. What is he doing? And then all of a sudden, boom, Terry Crews. You would have all been surprised. There's no way around that.
My man with the bust out. I mean, dude, you got to do the Friday scene, dude. You got to do the Friday scene.
I didn't pay for that.
You ain't pay your rent. You ain't pay your rent. Oh, my man had me.
Did you buy the movie?
my man had me in tears on that movie, bro. He had me in tears, bro. That's the first thing I see when I saw him. I was like, daggone. Yeah, that would have been fun to meet Terry Crews.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would have hung out in LA just to make it to that episode and hang out off the side of the set, that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd have been cool, man. Yeah, man. So you had Terry Crews up in the joint, man. That's pretty cool, right? I want to tell you. Nah. Then I'm telling what's happening next, so I can't say that neither. Daggone. I'm going to edit it anyway. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to chop this up anyway, so.
Bro, don't say something and then forget to edit it.
Nah. I look at this thing 3 times and I'm sitting there looking at it 3 times from front to back. And that's why I said, like, even like the last episode when you said, cut out what, X, Y, Z, and I saw it 3 times and I had to cut it like 3 times and wipe some stuff out, so.
And guys, I mean, just to tell you, America, we accidentally told in the last episode who actually wins the whole thing.
We did.
So, if you want to go back and check it to see if you can try to catch it, be my guest. But I made sure this guy edited it out.
Yeah,
so
it's out. It's out. Yeah.
Don't even tempt it. Hit the end button, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, bro.
Right. And the funny thing about it was that, and I'll cut this out too. You know what started that conversation?
What was that?
When you said that.
Come on, man.
That was funny though, man. You're a funny guy, bro.
I don't think any of us was wrong because I feel like all 20 of us, to some degree, already knew what it was.
Yeah.
After episode 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's like, all right, well, we're here to do our best, Like,
yeah, we'll last as long as we're gonna last, and then when it's time to go, it's just time to go.
Yeah.
What I was shocked about was that there's some press right out there, and I get a couple people hit me up and they'll say, hey, yo, man, Lego Masters not gonna be the same. My whole office that I work at are mad that you 2 guys got voted off. Like that y'all was the office favorites because you guys were funny.
Yeah.
And I get that. I get that a lot, and it's like, man, I didn't, I never thought I would get that type of reception. I thought we were gonna get receptions like, oh, those guys aren't, master builders. Those guys shouldn't even be on there, and it's, you know, I get that, dude. It's like, I can't teach you not to be a hermit. And it's like I said before, it's not a Lego show. It's a reality TV show that happens to be about Lego.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
I'll tell you off rip, like, I mean, I know how to build, but I don't personally have the personality to get onto that show. Like, that was all you.
Yeah.
You had to get the gab, like, but we also just, like, the chemistry that they see on TV between us, we developed that along the way.
Yeah, along the way, man. Yeah.
We don't hang out enough to have polished our chemistry to that degree.
Right.
To where it's, like, truly TV worthy. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we just locked out on that to where we just vibed like that. But
yeah,
I mean, had it be like me, applying with anybody else? Oh no.
Yeah, and the same here. Like like I had a couple good friends, a couple people, and then a couple good friends of mine that asked, "Hey, look, you want to go on the show with me?" And I'm like, And, you feel bad because like the one dude I'm really good friends with, and it's like, dude, like, because I know that I probably wouldn't banter with him like we banter, and we got that up north banter. So,
right.
and where like we can have me and you, we can have a regular conversation, but to other people, it sounds like an argument.
Exactly.
And that's just how people talk up north. We talk fast, we talk loud. So, and so it just, we wouldn't have had that chemistry there, and they probably, they'd be trying to either probably mix me up like they did Aaron or Sam or somebody with somebody else.
That's a fact.
They mix you up with two ships. All right, folks, we out. We catch y'all on the next one.